Hey folks, in this video I am pretty excited to show you guys the Micro Machines Supervan City playset, and of course this is going to be the newer one that came out in the 2020s, and I think this one is now out of production, as are, I think, pretty much all, I'm pretty sure all of these newer Micro Machines are even out of production now. They kind of were a thing for a few years and from Jazwares, and I don't know if they did well enough to keep going. I certainly don't see them in the stores anymore anyways. But with that all said, this is one that I still haven't checked out yet, though I bought it a few years ago. So this is the Amazon exclusive version of the Supervan City, and there's nothing different about it except that it comes with a few extra cars. So I figure that will be the one that I open up, just because why not? So ordering it from Amazon, it came in this outer box, and I think this was shipped in a box, as far as I can remember. But this one here, it has a ship from Jazwares and then to Amazon. So there's that label there. But turning it around, yeah, you can see it just says description: Micro Machines, large playset, Supervan City, AMZ for Amazon exclusive. The bottom and the top have nothing on them of any particular excitement, so go ahead and open this up, and this is what we have inside. So let me just take this out. I'll just go like this. And so the Supervan City sets that were sold in all the stores did not come in a fully enclosed box like this. Instead, they had kind of part of it opened up so that you could actually see what the van looked like. So this Amazon exclusive version does come in a fully enclosed box, which is kind of unique, actually. I think that's kind of cool. I almost feel bad opening this because it is such a nice box, but I do want to check out the playset. And here's what the front of the box looks like. There were two different versions of this. There was, this kind of regular version, if you will, and then there was kind of like a sort of like a camouflage or military colors type of playset. I don't think there was much other variation to it other than just a different color scheme, but that was kind of similar to how the original Supervan City was. They had like a regular version, they had like a military sort of version, and then a few other slight variations. But yeah, so definitely taking some inspiration from the older set. There's the side, and the other side is this shows which cars are included. So I think the regular release of this would have come with 3 different cars. This comes with 12, so that's pretty cool. And I think that other, the regular release fit would also come with these track connectors. So the only difference is that you get some extra cars with this, and I think they are, I don't know if the same 3 original cars are included in this. I sort of don't think so, but in any case, yeah, that's what we get. Let's see. So I'll turn this around to the back so you can see what the back of this box looks like. 20 plus action zones, and you can see what those are there. But basically just looking at this, you can definitely see the inspiration from the original Supervan City, because, it's got the 2-lane raceway, and then it's got the bridge, and, there are some different and newer features with this. It does have this mountain here, which the original had, but the layout of it is different here. And the original didn't have this little slalom course thing over here. So, yeah, there are definitely some differences, but also it's very clear to see where the inspiration comes from. So, anyways, with that all said, I think it's time to go ahead and open this up, and we'll see what we've got inside. Alright, so here's what we get, and yeah, basically all that's in here is the Supervan City itself, and then this bag of accessories and cars. So I'll open this up really quickly first. And actually, looks like these are all of the cars in here, so they're all individually wrapped as well. So we'll get to those in a little bit, but we'll take a quick opening of the Supervan City here. And this will require me to cut some of these zip ties here. So the only thing I'm missing so far is stickers and instructions, if they are supposed to be in here. So I have no idea how to exactly open this up. It looks like you just would push this, and I wonder if the instructions will be inside here. I'm hoping so, but let's see. Well, look at that. Everything just opens up very nicely like that. And we do have a bag of accessories here. I don't know. Let's see, there's actually another one here as well. A few little street signs. So I guess I'll open up this bag real quickly as well. This is basically just the bag of accessories for the set. So there are some of those pieces. And, yeah, I guess I don't know. I gotta think that there are supposed to be some stickers, but at the same time I see that some are already applied, so I'm kind of confused. I'm hoping I didn't miss something. I'm gonna have to look through the box, I guess, a little bit closer and you know, see if I didn't just miss them somewhere. But I was hoping they might be inside here, and they're not. So stay tuned, I guess. We'll see. Okay, folks. Funny enough, I think I found them, so I didn't dig far enough. If I would have opened up the other side of the box, I would have seen them. But indeed, there are instructions and stickers here, which is great. So they are attached to this piece of cardboard. So let me just open this up. Okay, so we do have a little sticker sheet with quite a few stickers, but not too many. Let's see, we've got thank you for ordering from Jazwares. We do have the instruction sheet. So here is a good look at that. Shows you how to assemble it, where to put the stickers, how to play with it, all those kinds of things. And how to connect it with some other play sets too. And then finally it did have this mini little poster here. Let's see if I can open this up. And this just shows some of the other car collections out there that you could pick up. So there's a look at that. Alright folks, well, 12 cars here. I'll open up maybe just one of these, just to say that I did an unboxing of one of them. Or maybe since it doesn't take that long, maybe I'll open them all. Let's see here. So there is the dump truck first of all. And we got this one next. What is that, a Hummer maybe? There's that one. Got the big big rescue truck there. And sports car. Now another green car. Purple car. I do like the kind of nice variety of colors and styles of the cars that are included here. We got a police car, very neat, very nice. This is a big old garbage truck, it looks like. Got a little, I think this is blue tractor here. Got a truck. Blue car. And last but not least, let's see, one more racing car. And that's what we've got for the cars. Okay, folks, I've got the set completely assembled. All the stickers are applied, so here is just a good look at it, kind of from the top here. And you can see all the different features that there are, and there are quite a few of them. So, it's hard to know even where to start, but, well, we'll just take a couple cars here, and why don't we start at the racetrack. So, this is just a simple pullback, and basically identical to the original Supervan City. So very, you know, there's not a lot of power to that launcher, but it's just enough to get the cars basically over the ramp there, and then it doesn't have like a little flag or anything to tell who the winner is. You just kind of have to eyeball it. Looks like the purple car might have won in that case. But anyways, that's a look at the racetrack there. Nice little thing. And next we've got this interesting little area here. So kind of like a little police station-ish thing. Well, actually, that's more like over here. But, you know, we've got a little helipad, so you can kind of call this like a rescue area, maybe. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll put the rescue truck here or something. Maybe park it there. Now, if you drive over here, you notice that there is a little parking ramp here. So you can drive the car up and park the car on top here. And it is kind of hard to get the cars to stay a little bit. There is just a little lip to kind of keep it in place, but not on the back, really interestingly. Other interesting thing is that there is a third level here, but there's no way to get your cars up there, so you just have to place it up there like that. I don't know if I really like that too much. It'd be nice if there was some way to have another ramp up there, I guess, or something. Or just maybe even not have it in the first place, I suppose. But in any case, it is there. After that, let's see which way we should go. Maybe over here. Got a little side ramp that goes up over to this area. So here we've got this little skyscraper thing, which is interesting. And you'll notice that there is a ramp over here. This ramp is foldable, so you can kind of go like this. And this is basically an elevator. So yeah, you can drive a car onto here, lift it up to what we can call, I guess, the second floor. You can see that there's a area to get out there. Unfortunately, it does look like this doesn't like actually stop very easily at that level to let your car go out. So you kind of, you know, which is going to be hard for me to do with only one hand as I'm holding a camera, but let's try this one more time. Let's see. Where do I grab it? There we go. I'm going to try to get the car out like that. There we go. And it should go down like that. So, but yeah, it doesn't really park there. So it's kind of, you almost just put the car here, let it down, and keep trying that feature. Let's try that maybe with another car. Maybe the truck here. Let's see if that works a little better. Not really. Well, there's got to be one that works good. How about the little Hummer? Not that one either. Maybe just give it a little power. I think it worked the first time, and not none of these other times. It's just flipping right around. The tractor? Nope, that didn't work either. I guess we'll try the dump truck. Everything flips over. I don't know what to tell you, folks. Everything flips over. So, you know, in theory, the car should be able to just go and have enough power and then come straight down. But, well, I guess you could just launch it like that. Something like that. So, not a very perfect feature, I would say, unfortunately. So that is just what it is. But let's see. What you can do is, well, you can bring a car up the elevator again. Let's just do the dump truck since it's right here. All the way to the top. Let's see. It just came right out. So it's kind of hard to get this in place here. All the way to the top. And it will click in place here, and then you can let this ramp down. Let me see if I can just show you that. And then you can let the car go down the ramp just like that. So that's kind of a look at that little skyscraper little feature there. It's not a perfectly working feature, I would say, that combined with this little exit tower here, but you can play around with it and just have some fun, I guess. So yeah, there's that. I do have a little wrecking ball feature over here, and I can tell that this is definitely ported over from the Super Stunt City set. There are some pieces just like this and the wrecking ball kind of that are similar, and I can just tell it's kind of coming from that. So, but the wrecking ball, yeah, you can basically just kind of pretend to wreck these pieces here, bring it up. Let's see if you do it a certain way, maybe it'll swing and hit the pieces down, sort of. Well, you need to give it a little power, but, you know, you can kind of pretend with that. And these pieces will both fold down just like that. So, yeah, kind of an interesting little wrecking ball there. Actually, I guess I don't have it tight enough in there. Let me just put that back in. But yeah, it kind of spins down just like that. So let's see. The other thing I really like about this is there are so many little areas to drive your cars around. That is a good thing. I always love that with these little Micro Machine sets when they do that. You can see all the little details of these little road lines and everything. So I just really like that. I guess since we're over here, why don't we check out this police station area. We do have a ramp back here so you can drive a car up and then kind of come down and around, I guess. Something like that. Let's see. Yeah, more for kind of pretending to drive around than actually using as like a drop ramp or something, but nevertheless, it's kind of a neat looking little cityscape there. So that's kind of what you can call the police station, I guess. And then, let's see what else is there to show you guys. A lot. So, let's see, what else do we have? Let's put another car down here, and we'll drive across the bridge. And the bridge is an interesting feature, because of course this comes from the original Supervan City. You know, that had a bridge that looked kind of similar to this. The only big difference I noticed with this set and the original Supervan City is the original had kind of a little bit of an elevated area over here, then kind of like a valley that went under the bridge. In this case, everything is kind of level. It's just kind of one floor level. So technically the bridge doesn't really need to be here. Like, you could cross the bridge here, or you could just, you know, drive around the bridge just like this. Whereas the older Supervan City, you know, that was kind of like the only way across. But anyways, here's just drive across the bridge this way. It does have a ladder here. Only on one side, but let's open that up. And then we'll maybe have this car cross one more time going the other way. The other thing, too, about the other older Supervan City is that the bridge actually kind of came and lifted up. This one doesn't lift up at all. These ramp pieces do lift and fold up, but that's about it. So, and then under here, there's nothing under here, so this just kind of folds down. Kind of neat that there's this little slalom course here. You know, this would otherwise be just kind of an empty space, so they decided to just put a little slalom course, I guess. So there's one there, and of course, you know, I suppose they could have put something else there since there is an actual slalom course over there, but, you know, it doesn't really matter to me. It's just a little sticker because there's some empty space there. So let's drive over to the gas station and car wash next. So yeah, this is very reminiscent of the original one from Micro Machines in the 90s. Not exactly the same, of course, but nevertheless, it's a little car wash and it's in the same place and everything. So there's just a look at that. And then over here, which is kind of hard to see, but there is a little kind of gas station area. You can kind of drive your car up here if you want, get a little bit of gas. So there's a look at that. And then over here, what do we got? A little auto repair place. So this is just a simple little auto repair garage. Drive your car in there and pretend like it is getting serviced. So that is pretty cool. And then with all of that, we are getting to some of the last features. And for those, I think I'm actually going to pause the video and turn the set around. Okay, so taking a look at this side of the mountain here, because that is the next feature to look at, kind of see what's going on. On this side, we've got a donut shop. That's kind of fun. So let's bring, I don't know, let's bring the garbage truck to get some donuts. Why not? So drive by and get some donuts. That's kind of funny. So that one's kind of big, but if we bring this one over here, you can see that there is a tiny little tunnel under here where you can just basically push a car through. And the nice thing is that it's kind of rounded in the back there, so the car will come out fairly easily. So that's good. It's still kind of hard to get it out of there, but good enough, I guess. And then we have the slalom course here. So let's just drive this particular car through the slalom course. Maybe we'll park him right there at the end. And then we got to try the mountain feature. So I'm not sure which car is the best, but we'll try this one just because it's right here. So we'll drive up the mountain. That's actually a really tight fit for it, for this particular car. But there we go, and then we can drop it down and it'll come shooting out anywhere onto the slalom course. I don't think you're going to get a very smooth landing most of the time from that. But anyway, let's maybe try one more. This one's a smaller car. This one might fit just, well, see, it's a very tight area there. They could have made that just a little wider for a few of the more cars to fit through it, but, well, it is what it is. So there we have that. I guess if you get it going just the right way, it can be kind of smoothish, but not really. So anyways, we have that, and I suppose you could try, you know, from the top up here, you could try driving a car down. You'll get kind of stuck there, but it kind of works. I wonder if there's any skinnier, thinner cars that would work better. Not really. This is a really tight area here, actually. So, there we go. Yeah, I think this red car is actually the skinniest, and even it does not fully fit in there, unfortunately. So, they made that really, really tight. I wish they would have made it just needs a hair more room. But anyways, so those are kind of the main features. We'll take this car and drive it down here. This is where we have a few extra track pieces that are included so that you can connect with other sets. You can take these and arrange them any way that you want. But otherwise, that's kind of how that works. And then just to give you a little bit of the perspective from this side, you can see that the ramp over here and everything. Yeah, so yeah, you can see that on the back side of this, there isn't really much to see. There's a look at that little gas station there on this side. And basically, that is what we have. So there's a good look at it. Overall, I do like it. I don't think every part works perfectly. You know, this part I don't really like. I don't like that there's not a lot of room here. You know, just little things, but just the overall look of it and everything, I think it's pretty cool. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to fold this up. We're going to have to take a lot of these pieces apart to be able to fold it up. But once we do that, it should be a nice smooth fold up, I'm hoping, just like it was opening it up. Alright folks, so now I've got it ready to fold up here, at least I'm pretty sure I do, and basically requires removing all of those little small pieces for the most part that were in the little baggies in the beginning, just so getting rid of those so that there's room for everything to kind of fold up together. And I think you just do it, I haven't looked at the instructions, but I think you just basically close it up with these edges first, and then put the back piece in like this, and then the front piece just like this, or maybe you got to do that one first, perhaps. Something like that. And so we have that. This piece, I don't know if you are supposed to or not supposed to take that apart. I'm going to see if I can just sneak it in there, because that would be kind of annoying to have to remove every single time, but maybe you are supposed to. It's actually hard to sneak it in there, so I don't know, maybe it'll fit. But you should be able to snap that closed. Oh, I don't know. That might be an issue. I'm not sure. Let me try and just take that piece off and see if this is making... this is causing some of the trouble I'm having. I don't know. Let's see. It's a little tricky to get this in here. Yeah. Not super intuitive, honestly. Now, of course, there is a step that I'm forgetting, which is, you know, you got to put all these small pieces in here at some point, too. So let me just see if I can sneak all of these little parts in here in some various places. There I go. There it goes, I think. I think we've kind of got it connected. I don't know how this front is not being secured very tightly. I'm not sure if I'm missing a step there or what, because it seems like it should be fitting, but anyways, it is closed, so I'm going to check the instructions and make sure there isn't anything I missed, but it is closed, and all the pieces do fit in there pretty snugly, so yeah, it's a rather tight squeeze, but it does fit, so that's what we have there. Yeah, and as I looked at the instructions, it seems like I did it roughly the right way, so I guess this top piece just does kind of hang like that, unfortunately, but oh well, that is what it is. Let's take a look at the van as it's closed up. This is actually, it's a very modern looking van. It even has a little shovel hanging right here, so no shortage of details on this thing. And these are not stickers on here, which I actually like, because, you know, these big of stickers would be kind of just kind of in the way and probably get kind of gross looking after a while. But yeah, there's a lot with this. It does also have a carry handle. Look at that, just like the old Supervan City and some of the other various unfoldable sets. That's really cool. Let's turn this around, have a look at the back. Yeah, SVC Supervan City. And just like that, it broke it. Well, I didn't break it, but it just unfolded on this other side here. So clearly, I did not have everything in there well enough, and this is going to be a bit of a hassle for me to put back. But, well, that's the way it goes. So let me just take care of that. Well, folks, I kind of got it back together. I don't know. I'm going to have to play with this a little bit more. There is clearly a little bit of a learning curve to folding this up that I have not got the hang of just yet. You can even see that in the front here, that this is kind of off to the side a little bit. So there's something I got to figure out about, you know, how to properly put this away better than I did there just before showing you guys that. So, but anyways, this is what it looks like. And then also on the bottom, these wheels, all four of them spin, and that's really good. So you can really, you know, just play with this as the van itself. And it's a pretty smooth rider. You know, let it go and it goes a little distance, so that's pretty cool. And basically with that all said, there it was. That was a look at the newer version of the Supervan City from Micro Machines and Jazwares. So I think that's about all I've got to say for this video, but I hope you enjoyed watching it. And yeah, thank you for watching.